Right, welcome back, grade 12s. I'm continuing from where I left off, and that is to go through the table of people's trust in the media. So here, the Liberals had their trust weighted to more the radio, television, and newspapers as before, right? So here they've given like a visual representation of what they said previously, that each group has a trust in radio, television, newspapers. The reason why they've given it to us, despite having said it earlier, is because we can see visually where the different groups sort of lean towards. So they generally get their information from the right sources, from the same sources, yet their opinions differ. And this is important for our research, is because we can see where they are getting information from and where changes, such as the Liberals, friends and family, and their experience with friends and family has really changed their view on things, whereas those that are judgmental has had a less view on friends and family. So building maybe a narrative of people's lives and how they fought against it will sort of then help the judgmental group to become more liberal. So that's why we are given this visual representation, so that we can unpack it easier or more easily. So this is similar to what recent public opinion study on xenophobia in the HSRSC found. Given limited resources, communication efforts should target those media platforms that are the prime sources of information and immigration. The table shows that the broadcasting media, especially radio and television, which I've explained, is more important. So you may pause the video at any time to sort of reread through this in a more slower fashion. I'm just going through it for the sake of explanation. Okay, but at any time you are welcome to pause and go through this more intricately than I am here. Okay, so we have a good leadership. The survey suggests that government communication, so now we've gone through what the findings are. Now we're trying to find solutions for all of this that has been given to us. So good leadership, the survey suggests that government communication campaigns can benefit from the cooperation of prominent leaders who are trusted by the general population, political leaders like South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who command the respect of the populace, need to speak out against xenophobia, but politicians are not the only ones that can help. Religious leaders may be well placed to change hearts and minds on the issue. South Africans are deeply religious, and faith plays an important role in how people understand the world around them. We found that people in the liberal cluster were motivated to adopt a compassionate stance toward immigration because of their faith. Christian leaders in particular can exert a great influence on dispelling anti-immigrant sentiments in their congregations. A majority of the careful and ambivalent clusters were members of Protestant churches. Many people in the judgmental group belong to the Zionist Christian Church, the largest and most visible religious body in the country. So here they're saying that each cluster was part of some or other religious background, and religious leaders could have a significant role in that. They can, in their places of worship, teach people to sort of embrace diversity and love one another as you love yourself, is one of the Christian statements that also could be used, and there are among others that could be used as well, karma and whatever. So here one of the solutions is good leadership, is that not just government but also other leaders can take a hand in better informing the public and allowing them to become more liberal in their view towards immigrants or migrants. Right, the power of integration. Survey respondents were asked if they had contact with cross-border immigrants. Few members of the judgmental and ambivalent cluster reported having had positive contact. People in the liberal cluster had greater levels of positive contact, and past research has shown that positive contact between locals and migrants reduced anti-migrant sentiment in South Africa. One of the most positive interventions that could assist foreigners in the countries is integration programs that promote coexistence with the host communities. Right, so here the power of integration. Like we discussed previously, with people having more friends and family, the more integrated they are into the communities, it becomes easier to understand them and their narrative, because you are on a personal level with them, instead of just perceiving this group of people through the news and not having your own personal idea of what they are like. So integration is very important. Right, so changing the hearts and minds of immigration and combating xenophobia in South Africa can seem like a daunting task, but it is not insurmountable, right? And we spoke of this as well in the meeting we had on Saturday, this past, I think Saturday or the Saturday before, in which we said, how do you eat an elephant? And you eat it bit by bit. So how do you change a huge phenomenon like xenophobia? You do the little you can and work bit by bit. So therefore it is not insurmountable, meaning you cannot, it can't be insolvable, you can't not solve it, because there are ways to solve it. Like you need to climb a mountain, take it step by step. You need to eat elephant, do it bit by bit. Okay, so this was taken from the study here, or you can look up the conversation if you want to engage with any other articles they have. They have very informative articles on various topics. Okay, so the next part will be on human trafficking.